Marine Princess. Once, in a kingdom perched on the edge of a vast and endless ocean, there was a mighty king named Alaric. His kingdom flourished in wealth and peace, but the king was a man of duty, his heart always focused on the welfare of his people. He had never known love, at least not the kind poets write about. His heart was a fortress, unyielding and strong, built from years of ruling with wisdom and strength. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. One summer's day, as the sea roared with the rhythm of eternal waves, a great storm descended upon the kingdom. Ships were tossed upon the jagged rocks, and the sky turned a furious shade of gray. King Alaric, whose ships often sailed to distant lands, sent his best men to aid in rescuing survivors. Amid the wreckage, the men found a woman, delicate yet fierce, her long hair flowing like seaweed, her skin shimmering with an iridescent glow. She was no ordinary woman. She was a princess, and her home was not on land, but beneath the deep blue waters. Her name was Seraphina, the princess of the ocean realm, a kingdom hidden in the depths of the sea, where mermaids, sea creatures, and ancient gods coexisted in harmony. She had been sent to the surface to broker peace with the land kingdoms, for the waters were rising, and the sea creatures feared that their shores would be overtaken by human settlements. But the storm had destroyed her vessel, and Seraphina was stranded, helpless, and far from her watery home. The moment Alaric laid eyes on her, something inside him stirred, a feeling he had never known. It was as though the very sea itself had reached into his soul. Seraphina's eyes, the color of the ocean's deepest mysteries, met his with a calm strength that seemed to still the fury of the storm. Her voice, soft yet powerful, explained her plight, and King Alaric, moved by the urgency of her mission, promised to protect her until she could return home. As days passed, Alaric and Seraphina spent hours together, talking of the sea, the land, and the ancient magic that connected both realms. Seraphina spoke of the world beneath the waves, its beauty and its dangers. She described coral forests that bloomed like flowers in the moonlight, and great leviathans that swam in the endless depths. Alaric, in turn, spoke of his people, his dreams for the future, and the burdens of leadership. But as the days turned to weeks, their connection deepened into something neither had expected. Alaric, once a man who thought only of strategy and governance, found himself drawn to her with a passion he had never known. Seraphina, too, had never felt so alive. The kingdom of the sea had its wonders, but the heart of the land, its wild beauty and unyielding spirit, captivated her in ways the ocean never could. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, they stood together at the edge of the cliffs, watching the stars twinkle above and the moonlight shimmer on the water. Seraphina, with her sea-blue eyes, turned to the king and spoke softly. "Do you ever wonder, Alaric, what lies beyond the world we know?" she asked. "I used to," he replied, his voice a whisper in the cool evening breeze. "But now, I wonder if the world is not enough for what I feel in my heart." Their gaze met, and in that moment, the storm within them both calmed. The distance between their worlds seemed to disappear. The king, who had once been bound to the land, felt a yearning for the deep sea, not for the treasures beneath it, but for the woman before him. And Seraphina, with her heart as vast as the ocean, realized that love had found her, not in the depths of the water, but in the heart of a landlocked king. But the world they lived in was not kind to love between different realms. Seraphina's duty was to her people, and Alaric's was to his kingdom. The day came when the time to part drew near. The sea was calling her back, and the kingdom of the land could not hold her forever. On their final evening together, Alaric took Seraphina's hands in his and made a promise. "No matter where you go, no matter how far apart we are," he said, his voice firm yet full of emotion, "I will find a way to bridge our worlds. The land and the sea can be one, if only we choose to make it so." Seraphina, with tears in her eyes, kissed him gently, the taste of salt and the promise of the sea lingering on her lips. "I will wait for you beneath the waves," she whispered, "until the day our worlds can unite." And so Seraphina returned to the deep, her heart forever tied to the land and the man she loved. Alaric, inspired by their love, worked tirelessly to build alliances with the kingdoms of the sea, sending emissaries and seeking ways to ensure that both the land and the ocean could live in peace. Years passed, and King Alaric's kingdom flourished. And though the land and the sea remained apart, their love, deep and steadfast, was always there, an unbreakable bridge between two worlds, one